So I wanted to show you that this is my felt flower truck. Camera is still getting blurry. I'm usually not into naming things, but I kind of think that this would be something fun to name. Let me show you around. I mean, it's a mini truck. It's tiny. We can see the back here. We've already been using it, putting it to work, just moving some trash. As you can see, all three sides of the bed come down with these little clamps. It's got a couple little rust spots, but that was expected. I knew it was going to be beat up, so let me hop in. Actually, let me go get the key. Okay, so I've got my keys. Can you tell I'm excited? First things first, as you'll probably realize that I'm on, sometimes you can't tell because I think in some cameras record reverse anyways. It's right-hand drive. I'm a little low on gas. It's hot in here, jeez. Speaking of hot in here, got it cranked up. Here we go with the air. About the truck, it is a 1994 Subaru Sandbar. It's a Japanese mini truck. They're known as KEI trucks. That was a weird smell. They're used in like factories and stuff in Japan, and it's kind of like, they kind of have like a cult following. I saw one of these a few years ago. It's taken me this long to find one. Kind of dusty. Most of them are manual transmission. I needed to wait around and find one that was automatic. I also wanted to find one that had air conditioning, and I lucked out. Also, the timing was really weird. I'm doing this really big freelance job, and literally the same few days that I was getting a deposit for this job, I realized that the dealer had the truck. And so I was like, oh my gosh, is this meant to be? And it just felt like it was. Everything just worked out like really well to where I could get it. I'm going to start kind of detailing the inside of the car now. You know, just get it nice and clean. It's, what, a year younger than me? Which is kind of crazy to think about. I still can't believe it. First of all, hi, my name is Blake and I like to make things. And in this video, we're gonna start a project that I have been wanting to make, but I have put off literally for years. If I seem tired, that's because I am. Let me show you why. Oh, this is why I'm so tired. This is Stella, our newest addition to the litter. I'm gonna put this little thing down though. Is it better with my glasses off? Can you tell more or less how tired I am with my glasses off? I feel like the reflection is a little distracting. I tried to sit down and record this video a few days ago, but I feel like I was feigning excitement because it was still just in theory, because I hadn't actually started on the truck yet. Like, I just had it and have cleaned it up and stuff like that, but this weekend I've started on it. Because I haven't done much with it, I will overlay a lot of my talking portions with very satisfying video of me cleaning it. This is going to be a longer series for sure, but as far as this video goes, I'm going to break it down into a few segments. One, I want to tell you how I came across the truck and how it came to be, and a little bit of a story behind it. And in the second half, I want to talk about designs and concepts and stuff like that. I also will show you a little sneak peek with the truck so far at the end of the video. Next video, we're going to actually get into more of working on it. So definitely subscribe if you want to follow along with this whole thing. So let me get into it. This is going to be a very talky video. I know the last couple on my channel were, but I felt like I've needed to kind of set up this kind of I don't know, kind of restarting a lot of what I do and the whole rebrand that I've had and all that stuff. I have made some notes so I don't get too long-winded. You guys know, if you've been following me, you know that I like to talk. About 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to buy something that I had been wanting for years. And what I came across was a 1993 Subaru Sandbar Japanese mini truck. They're also referred to as KEI trucks, or just mini trucks. I was doing some freelance work. It was hard work. and I was a little bit in over my head for it, and maybe that'll be a story time for later. The silver lining there was that I got this truck out of that whole situation. I got paid to do the job. I was just like, you know what, let me just check and see. And so I checked a couple of the importers that I had been kind of stalking for quite a while at that point. Someone local to me had one that met a couple of the big requirements that I needed. Most of these mini trucks come with manual transmission. I really wanted one with automatic. I didn't want any extra worries, you know, while I'm on the road. I'm an anxious enough driver as it is. And the other thing that would have been just like a cherry on top situation was if it had air conditioning, and this one did. And they were local, literally like 10-15 minutes away. So I was like, oh, I've got to go see. And I will say again, and you'll hear me mention this throughout this whole project, I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to cars. I'm not a car guy. I don't know if you picked up on that, but my sister is a certified mechanic, and so basically for a lot of this project I'm going to rely on her. And so she actually came along with me. She looked the truck over. It was all good. It went as well as we could have hoped. So I went ahead and claimed it, and I told him I would be back in a couple days with a check. We came back a few days later and bought it. At the time, I think we only took a few clips on our cell phones. I brought it home, parked it, and haven't done much else with it since then. Because I haven't done much with it, I will overlay a lot of my talking portions with very satisfying video of me cleaning it. That was all I could do to like put into this project. And so let me make sure. I recorded this twice already, and the first time didn't have sound. The second time I looked like I was about to fall asleep. Hopefully I don't look like that now, because I am genuinely so excited to be working on this. I brought it home. I haven't done much to it. I will say, on the way home, as I was turning into the driveway, it shut off, and I was stuck in the road for a few minutes. I was literally in front of my house. I had hit the brakes to turn into my driveway, and the truck started right back up again, so it was something simple. But those are the kind of things that my sister's been looking over everything, and she has been doing some work on it. We've changed the oil filter, changed the air filter. She also changed some like leads to something. I don't know what it was. If I look back through our messages, I would be able to tell you what it is, but I just was like, okay, like if you say so, I need to do that. I did buy a battery cover to cover the battery. That's what battery covers do. And I just bought last week a net to go over the bed of it, but as you'll see at the very end of this video, I don't even need that anymore because of what I'm doing. Where is she? Oh, she's behind me. Whoa! You scared me! No! Besides those few things, the only thing that I've been able to do with this truck is clean it a few times. I even let the tires go flat, and I let the battery die a few times, and I'm trying to stay on top of that now. I'm just not. Our car, we take to the dealership on a regular basis. They deal with everything. I know it's not the best practice, and I really want to learn more and to be able to maintain some of it myself. But like I said, we've been through a lot in the last few years, and I already have so much on my plate. Keeping flowers stocked, preparing for a few really big shows during the year, and then also smaller markets throughout the year, and then keeping up with my retailers. So all I could do for this was just to keep it clean. And honestly, that's been enough. It's been enough. If I had jumped into this any earlier, all of the conceptual stuff that I'm so excited about right now wouldn't have come together.
Where are you?
Up here?
Oh.
Is it coming up?
No.
Fast forward to now, I've rebranded my studio, I've rebranded my felt flower line, and it's just reset the bounds of my studio in a way that makes me feel like I can grow from it in all the ways that I want to. Before, I felt so restricted, and like it didn't feel creative enough either. Like, I think it's also because I'm getting older, but I always felt like I was doing everything for everyone else. And now I feel like I'm making a lot of those decisions for me, like what I want to do, what excites me. You know, like each thing that I'm doing, it's because like, oh, I'm really inspired to do this week. Let me do this because that'll make me feel better and that'll help my mental health. And it's just been this kind of snowball effect that's led me to now when I'm actually able to work on stuff. And so with all of that being said, it's time to finally get to work on this huge back burner project, and that's the felt flower truck. So now let's talk about all the concept and art and fun stuff. I do believe that this will be the first ever official felt flower truck. I know there's flower trucks out there in the world. I've had a couple contact me to sell felt flowers with their real flowers, but I think this will be the first official felt flower truck. That just excites me so much. If I'm wrong on that, do let me know, because first of all, I want to see what other people have done. And so much of my studio evolution, especially that I've done in the last year, which for some people this probably sounds like, oh, okay, you're full of yourself or whatever, but I have to get behind stuff conceptually in order to really get excited about working on it. If it has a story, that excites me. I do like writing stories too. Like, I like when a project feels like it has some history to it. So whenever I think about St. Christopher Gardens, you know, these felt flowers that I make, I imagine where they come from, how they are grown in this kind of like made up world. When Trolls came out a few years ago, when the first Trolls came out, however long ago that was, I was so inspired by the movie because everything felt like this textural fiber art universe, and that was exactly what I imagined. So when I think about St. Christopher Gardens, I think about, you know, where all of these felt flowers, what's the world that they were growing in? And in these like rolling hills of gardens, I imagine curated little pockets of different types of gardens with little fountains and ponds and gazebos and greenhouses. I also imagine this little floral workhorse that is the mini truck, putting around the gardens, tending to things, and then snipping flowers along the way. And maybe that's where we get the flowers from, you know? Hey, get down from there. And I also feel like these little trucks have so much personality, so it definitely needed a name. And it might be because we're a little obsessed with space, or it also could be we're obsessed with astrology, all of the things above, but our dogs' names are Luna, Nova, and Stella. And I kind of liked that pattern because this does also feel like a bit of a pet. And so I've come to really love the name Venus. And there's a lot of other conceptual stuff that I like to sit and imagine and brainstorm of how that makes so much sense. I love the fact that Venus is one of the brightest bodies in the sky. And also thinking of it in terms of astrology, I'm a Libra and my wife is a Taurus, and both of our ruling planets is Venus, which is the planet of love and beauty, and it is also the same energy as Aphrodite. And I think all of that just makes so much sense, especially with the sort of like aesthetic that I get really inspired by when I think of like stuff to do for the garden. When it all falls together like that, it just feels right. And Venus already feels like part of the family. So now, without further ado, it's time to officially... Stella, you're interrupted. So without any further ado, let me introduce Venus, the first official felt flower truck. But also, if it's not the actual first, at least it's the original felt flower truck of St. Christopher Gardens. So y'all might have to help me research that. It's so nice to have this project out in the open and actually be working on it. I've been working on it like physically for the last 2 days, and I'm so excited. I want to just keep going and not stop. But I am going to have to take a few breaks to just rest, and then to also keep filling wholesale orders, getting flowers out to our retailers, because that's what's going to help fund the entire project. I am really excited to also be relaunching my Patreon. So if you're interested in that and want to help support in that way, I currently have 4 tiers, but if anybody has any other ideas for like a fitting tier that would work for this project, let me know. I have an idea for one more tier, but check it out in the link below. If you already like subscribe to people on Patreon, you might be interested. Or if you're not, basically what Patreon is where you guys have access through a monthly pledge to help financially contribute to a small artist. And in this case, 99% of any profits made for this or from this is going towards the truck. I really want to get this up and running and out in the world. At some point this year, I would love to have it done by the holidays. It would be amazing if I could have it done by Halloween. The ideas in my head are exploding. So check that out if you want to help in that way. If not, that's completely fine. Just watching these videos helps. It helps grow the channel. It helps grow it helps me everywhere in the algorithm, and I'm very grateful for that alone. Along those same lines, if there is a local artist or tradesperson or craftsman, I don't really know all of the different types of titles in the Greenville/Easley area where I am, if you would like to collaborate in some way on this project, please reach out. I very much want to make this, if I can, a community project. The flowers are already such a communal sort of experience because people come together at these markets and stuff, and they're building bouquets, and then 9 times out of 10 they end up giving them away as a gift, and it's so, it's just such a good feeling, and I want to wrap those kinds of experiences into this project as well, as much as I can. And that's also going to be the goal whenever I can actually take this out in the world. I will leave all of my information in the description box below as far as where to email and all that stuff. And also, if you're wanting to follow me along with this whole thing, I'll be posting full-length videos on YouTube and highlight videos everywhere else. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Is there anywhere else? I think that's the only places I am. And also, the biggest thing that you can do to help with this project is don't let me stop. I respond pretty well to a sort of outward accountability. I will not feel bad at all if you message me and be like, hey, how's it going? I don't see that needing to happen because I am so excited about everything, and I have a plan for 90% of this thing. Speaking of that, this will be a pretty long series of videos, I think, because it's one huge project, but there's so many elements to it. There's what I'm doing on the back of the truck. There's different parts to that. There's the body of the truck. There's the undercarriage, the tires, the interior, which includes the dash and the floorboards, and the interior, like the upholstery. There's also some like mechanical things that need to be done still. And then that's not even getting to extra display accessories, extra display units that I might want to keep on the truck and pull out for market, signage, any fun merch that I'm also working on. I think that's pretty much it for all of that. I mean, Venus is born. She has been birthed. That's going to be the name of this series, The Birth of Venus. It just feels like very fitting. It feels very, I don't know, almost mythological, and also creating this like personality around the truck that feels so fitting too. I can't wait to use this as a platform or like a jumping off point. You hear her jumping around? To do so many other adjacent projects, like I said. I think that's pretty much all I can say for now. I will leave you with a few sneak peeks into what I'm working on. Oh, it's starting to rain. I'm starting off with the cargo rack on the back of the truck because I do want to work on some sort of like concept art and some sketches of the truck, and this gives me more of the actual shape and silhouette of what I'm going to be going with in the long run. It's better for me to start with this and draw from than to make it up, because before it was just a truck. Now it's this full thing. I'll be sharing the whole process of how I'm doing this. It's not so much a tutorial, but more so of like a documentation of the whole process. One of the perks on Patreon will be to have early access to the videos if you're interested in that. Other perks, depending on which tier you choose, include like just special behind the scenes videos and photos only on Patreon ahead of what's like publicly seen. And I'm also bringing back the Best Buds box, which is a felt flower subscription box that I did for a few years ago. It got really overwhelming after the pandemic when things started getting back to normal. Get out of there! You can't mess with that. Oh, you can't mess with that. Come on. There she is. We made so much inventory at the beginning of the year, thinking that we were going to do this other big show that did get canceled. So I have more inventory than I ever have. And we're going to keep stocking up in some fun ways that I'll share again later. So yeah, I think that's it. I know I've talked a lot in this video. This was a very talk heavy video, and I appreciate it. We appreciate it if you made it all the way through. You bit my chin. Oh, and my neck. Ow. You're so sweet. So yeah, like and subscribe, and comment, do all the YouTube stuff here on YouTube. That helps the channel and helps me in the algorithm and all that. If you want to follow me anywhere else on social media, you can. All the links will be in the description box below. You can follow me at Make with Blake or Made in St. Christopher or St. Christopher Gardens. I separate everything just in case anyone wants to just follow one or two specific elements. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Again, thank you so much. If you do decide to become a patron, I'm so grateful. You can read all of that information over there on Patreon at Make with Blake. More tiers to come in the future as we grow and figure out how we can get stuff out to you guys. And is that it for now? Yeah, I think so too. Thank you guys so much. We're excited for Venus.
How do I make it stop recording?
You hit the red button. I just scared the crap out of myself. I leaned on the horn. It was still just in theory. She is... Yes! Good hit the bell! Yes! Yes! Good hit the bell! I'm so glad I got that on camera. Now she's playing with her rope. I taught the other dogs how to hit a bell when they have to go outside, and Nova hit the bell earlier a few times because apparently I wasn't moving fast enough, and she was like come on Dad, like I gotta go outside, and she stopped, and then Stella like looked at her, and then she hit the bell like very confidently. I mean, I know she was just playing with it, and she was like, ooh, this makes a fun noise, but I was just so shocked. And she just did it again because it was right there, and she's like pawing at it. I'm shocked. Anyways, am I in focus? No, ma'am. You little turd. She's chewing at my shoes. Come here. Come here. Stella. Oh, she is so sweet. She's been such a good puppy. Let me do my intro, and then I'll be right back. No, 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 no. I did try to record this video a few days ago. Let me check. What you got there, bub? No, ma'am. No. Chew on this. Oh, it's been a lot of that. No. She literally keeps finding the 2 or 3 things that she can't have. And when she doesn't find the things she can't have, she resorts to chewing on my shoes. I'm tired. Look at her. I'm hoping she just gets tired in a second and lays down. Good girl, yes. So yeah, just checking on her. That was a big. Yes, good girl. I'm blown away. I think it was an accident, but I'm trying to encourage it. It took me so long to do that with Luna and Nova, and she's already doing it. Okay, so what was I even saying? She is stealing the spotlight. Okay. Stella is being so distracting, but she's too cute. I can't stop her. Okay. Come here, you little devil. Come here. You peeking out from under the chair. You silly girl. Bigger wholesale orders. Now she's chewing on my chew. Nope, don't go for those cords. No. Let me check and see what she's chewing on. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Yes. We also, and when I say we, she did all of that stuff. I have, I'm trying to learn what sounds the toys make when she's playing with them. Oh, she's under me. So that I'm not always like just fussing at her. Let me check on her one more time. She is hitting the bell again. She's playing with it. Yes!